Okay, this is a power steering pump off of a 2008 Mazda 6. A lot of years of the Mazda 6s are going to be the same, and I just want to talk about removing the pulley on here if you need to replace the seal or get into this. And usually it's just going to be replacing the seal behind this. Now, if you broke your pulley, you're probably going to have to hunt you down another pump anyways. But the seal behind here is the thing that I'm having to get to. Now, I just wanted to show you a tool that I have here. Okay, before I set this up on here, I want to talk about this. Now, typically with a power steering pulley, you have this like little collar, this lip, and you have this tool that has the little collars, the half collars that go around it, and you get on the center and it pulls it off, and it's no problem. And also, you'll have a threaded hole, and that same kit, you would take that same tool and press that pulley back on there. Okay, this one doesn't have that. Now, I'm assuming that it does press on here, but let me go ahead and put this. This is a very heavy duty puller right here. Okay, so this is how this thing sets up on here, and you can see how heavily built this is. And you can put a 3/8 wrench in there or whatever, and you can just crank down on this thing. It just tightens here. It locks into these. Now, I'd already stripped the threads in one of my other pullers trying to get this off. And I set this thing up, and I was really putting a lot of force. And you got to think about, a couple tons of force this thing is applying to this. And it got to the point where I wasn't comfortable, and I thought that I was going to either break or bend this pulley. So at that point, I just stopped. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you an easier way to remove this. It's not completely easy, but it's going to be an easier way. Now, you can get seal kits. I know you can get one from AutoZone. For this, it's going to have the seal if your goal is replacing the seal behind that shaft or whatever. And there's other seals in here as well. First thing we're going to do, we're going to take out these 4 12mm bolts right here. So let's go ahead and get those off. Okay, with those bolts out, we're going to go ahead and just lift this right here off of here. Okay, so you'll pull this piece off. It just has these lining dowel pins, and you'll just want to pay particular attention to how you take stuff off. Now, there's no need to disturb any of this stuff in here if you don't have to. So you want to try to leave this so you don't wind up mixing something up or taking the chance of getting something back together wrong. But what we have here, and I've already removed this, is on this shaft right here is where this clip right here goes, and it fits right in that groove right there. Now, that's all that's holding this here on. Now, what I had to do was I had to take a couple of thin blades on here, and I took and spread that clip, and this was the easiest thing that I could think of to use. I got in here with both of them essentially and pried that little clip apart so it's not just really strong. But I've done that with 2 blades while I had another person take a flat screwdriver and lift up on that C-clip. Now there may be other ways of doing it, but that's how I done it. and it came off. It took me like maybe 5 minutes once I kind of figured out, you know, how exactly to do that. So there's that clip. And if you do happen to break this thing, you can get another kit. I said I've got one right here. You can get this from you can get it from AutoZone. Comes with a clip and the seals and stuff. And if you mess with this, you probably want to replace some of these seals anyway. So now that that clip's off, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to carefully see if I can lift this up, and we should be able to just pull that completely out of there. And we'll just set this, like I said, there's no need in disturbing that if we don't have to. And that's it. And then you got your pulley off. To me, it's a lot easier to do it this way, more especially if yours is like mine. I'm assuming this thing does come off, but I don't know. Maybe somebody else can chime in. But I couldn't push it out of there. I was uncomfortable. I thought I was going to break this. It was taking just that much force. I knew something was going to give. And then you got the problem with putting it back on, so it's going to have to be pressed back on there as well. And you don't have the threaded hole, so I don't know what you're going to do about that. You have to put it in a press or something. So to me, this is the way to remove it. It's by far easier. And now I can, I think what I'll do is I'll just put my back on here, and I'll flip it over and get my front seal out of here. Since I've got that secured, we'll just flip it over, hopefully not disturb any of that, and I'm able to get this seal right here out. And so that's my goal. So if you're having the same trouble, and you got to get this pulley off and can't figure out how to do it, this is one way to do it. Like I said, it was way easier. I spent 5 minutes removing that clip, taking those 4 bolts out of the back, not a big deal. And there it is, it's out. And now I can get to that seal. So this to me is a lot better way of doing it. And I couldn't really find any information on this particular pulley, and I don't know that it's made to be pressed on and off there very easily. I don't know. So couldn't find any information, and I also couldn't even find like any replacement pulleys when I was looking, so I'm not sure on that. But that's like I said, that's to me an easy way to remove it. So hopefully this video has been helpful, and like I said, if it did help you out, give it a like, and thank you for watching.